Yes, let's continue from our previous class. In the previous class, we were talking about the HTML colors, and then we talked about the color names using the hexadecimal notation, and then the RGB. So in this aspect here, we will now be talking about the HTML CSS. Now in the CSS here, we have three CSS type. We have internal, external, and then inline. So previously, all these codes that you see here, this we refer them as inline CSS. Okay, and you can see this first example that we give within the HTML color scheme is an inline CSS, but the focus focus is more on color. So now what we are going to do, we will still apply the inline CSS, now applying some other features different from color. Now first, it have to be within. Now I want to affect this element here, that is this element, this block of code here, a paragraph, Suna Institute of Science and Tech. Now what I want to apply here, I want to say style. Okay, click this. So you see, once I have the style, everything I have to put it within the codes here. So now let's say now I want to increase the font size, so I will have to say font size. Okay, once I say font size, let's say I want to say the font size. Now if you click on font size, you will have all these options, but you can also use number. So now you can within the number also you can use some units like the pixels and percentage, but now I want to use pixel and I want to say 30 pixel. So I will take 30 pixel. This is how you write the 30 pixel. If it is percentage, you write 30% using the symbol, but I want to use pixel. So once I do that, if I refresh, okay, you will see this text is increased, right? Suna Institute of Science and Tech. So now the next thing that I am going to do, I want to add some font family. Okay, if you can remember in Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, we do add font style, font size, and so font family here is the type of writing style that you want your text to look like. How you want your text, which of the writing style do you want to, at the time New Romance, Algerian, Arial Black, and so on. So you can also apply that one in your HTML or in your website. So all is possible. So what I will do here, I will say font family, click on the font family, and I will click, let's say I will click this one. Let me say, okay, impact. So once I do that, you see all this is part of it property, font family, impact. So I will save, I will come here, and then you can see, you see how the text look like, it looks at least better and visible. Okay, so now the next thing that I can do here, we can also make everything look cool, or maybe make this Una Institute of Science and Tech. I want to transform the text from small letters to capital letters. So what I will say, I will say text transform. So click on it and then say upper cases. Okay, you see, once I start typing, it comes. So save, refresh, look at it. So you see everything is in capital. And then the next thing we can do, we can also align our text. You can remember in Word, PowerPoint, Excel, those things you learn them, right? So meaning you can put your text in the middle, at the left, at the right. Okay, so you use text alignment feature in the CSS here. Sorry, it gives me text decoration. I need text alignment. Show. Okay, so I will select text alignment and I will just click center. Show my text will be in the center. Okay, so I will refresh. You see my text come here, and you can also do a lot of things. Let me say now text color, or let me say color. So the color here will definitely affect this text, so always understand that you have to put everything between the quotes. Okay, so you can see my cursor is still behind the cursor quote, not in front of it, so I will have to bring it back. Let's say I say color and then select red. Okay, so it look visible. Okay, refresh, sorry, refresh, and then we have, you see, so it's looking cool, right? So now what I want to do, I want to add another feature also. Let's say I want to strike through it. So now to strike through, I will have to say text decoration. On the text decoration, if I want, I can underline, I can line through it, overline, and so on. So let me say overline and see what will happen, and we will have a line above. Okay, you see there is a line above it, and then I can also come again and apply another similar feature to it. Now what I will do, I will say again text decoration. Okay, so I will now say underline. Okay, so I will do that. I will go back there and make it look cool. So you see we have underline now. So what happened in CSS? There is what we call function overriding. Okay, in programming we have something that we call function overriding. Now we have two how to call it, two features that we apply here. In the first here we apply text decoration overline. The second one we also apply text decoration underline. So what happened? The second feature that you apply, which is of the same with the first one, let me say the first property, they all have the same properties here, but their values are different. So the second one, the value will override the first one. So now where is the underline? Is there, but the overline is already removed because this one does what we call overriding. Okay, so now but you can see if I remove this, I save it, I go back there, if I refresh, you see the line is above. Okay, so now this is how we deal with the inline CSS. Now the inline CSS, you have to put everything within that element of, or within that element of code. Now when we talk about element of code, we said like this paragraph tag is an element of code because it has something contained within it. This image also is also an element of code. Okay, so now to apply the internal CSS, that one will have to apply the entire block of code. Now in this block here, div, okay, we have paragraph, so I want to apply some internal CSS there. So now what I can do, we said in the internal CSS we can apply it at the header part of it, that is the normal programming convention, but you can apply it anywhere within the HTML file. So but it is more cool here because it's easy to see on top here. So what we will do, we have to write style. Okay, when we write style, now in this style here, once we do that, we will have what we call an opening style and then a closing style. So now everything that we have to put will need to be between this, okay, and this. So once we do this, the next thing that we are going to do is to call, okay, to call those how to call it, to call the how to call it, the block that we want, the block of code that we want to apply the style. Now understanding that we do not do something that we call classes in this course yet, but now we already have some block of code here which are divs. Okay, you can remember in the theory part we talks about div. We said divs are just containers, or they are block of code, they cannot do anything unless we add classes to them. Now we have div here, I also have a div here. So now if I use the div, okay, I need to specify which part of the code that am I dealing with. So I have to say, because I want to deal with the div where the image is, so I have to say div, okay, and then put img, and then add. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to add the selectors. Okay, now by creating this bracket, this curly braces, okay, this curly braces here, now we have created what we call selectors. So now this part is going to call any part within the HTML file here which have div, and the div is the block of the how to call it, code. And then the image here is telling you that I am image, I am contained within this block of code. So now what I will start with, first thing I will say background color. Okay, I will say background color, let me say I will say green. Okay, so once I do that, I save. So I will go to the browser. You can see this image did not have background colors, but let's refresh and see what will happen. You see the second image, it says background color green. But why is it that the second one did not have any effect? Okay, because that is because here, if you look into here, this one is contained within its own block. But now how about this other one here? It is not within its own block. Okay, so okay, now we have seen that the background color affect only one image, right? Okay, img. Okay, so now we forget about that. Let's just understand that the block of code will have to call from the part that it is affecting. Okay, so we have to go back up there and add some changes there. Okay, so we already seen background color green. Now what we can do there, we can add some CSS properties like the width. Okay, we can increase the width of the picture. Let's say we